A huge thanks to Warner Brothers for sponsoring this video. Well, it's not real, but it looks real. So we're on a recreation of Italy here. What's this city called again? Erice. We're on a fake version of Erice. Am I saying that correctly? If you look around, this is like one-to-one what Erice looks like, except for the signs, apparently. The signs are deliberately misspelled for Italians who are watching the movie so they can have a little chuckle while they're watching the action sequences. There's gonna be a chase sequence that happens here with, I'm not sure with who, but I know it's gonna be an awesome chase sequence in the middle of Aquaman with Amanda. Who's Amanda? They're just shouting things at me now. Manta. It's gonna be with Manta. I'm gonna say that again. They're just gonna destroy the town. They're gonna level it. It's gonna be amazing and beautiful. I'm excited. Let me grab the plant again. Hello people, I'm Jaby Koay. I'm here on the set of Aquaman. Warner Brothers flew myself and a bunch of YouTubers out. You can see them right there in Video Village. They're all kind of like looking at me, which is nerve-wracking. They all have way more subscribers than I do, so I'm the little guy here. Right now we're watching Jason Momoa do a fight scene. One of the things I learned really quickly is how much of a perfectionist he is. He's trying to get it just right. I'm learning a lot. They're shooting it in slow-mo so they can like ramp and stuff like that, because they're shooting at 48 frames per second. As a person who loves fight scenes, it's great to start out with watching a fight scene being shot. So this is my friend Tiffany. She represents DC.
He's fighting Black Manta, which is the coolest thing ever. But Jason looks awesome. He's like flipping his hair.
No, he does look pretty sick.
He's always like
doing that kind of thing.
I'm glad that you did an embarrassing hair costume, because I did, you know.
Came through, Zach actually asked for me. I was like, there's no way they're gonna hire me for Batman, this is a joke. He's like, you know why you're here? And I was like, I probably play one of the bad guys. Assuming some bad guy. He goes, nope, this is a character I want you to play. And I kind of thought maybe it'd be Lobo. I like motorcycles, smoking cigars. You know, heard Batman and Superman. I was like, it's a perfect job. And then he's like, nope. He's like, Lobo? No, not Lobo. I was like, I'd love to be Lobo. I wanted to be Lobo. But there's Lobo aspects in Aquaman, so he just was like, I want you to play Aquaman. I had no idea. It took me a while to say anything, because I was just like blonde.
Yeah, orange, green,
blonde,
right?
white. I was like, and then he told me that he wanted to take my tattoos and put them everywhere. Kind of, dawned on me that it's super important, obviously, to our Polynesian cultures and a lot of brown skin. To represent Aquaman is an honor.
Out to shoot and whatnot.
Fantastic, man. It's been so long.
Yeah, how are you, man? How's the kid?
Yeah, I have like 3 of them now, man.
What?
That's crazy.
Are
They
you
were all out
serious?
here. Yeah, they just left on Sunday. They were here for about a month. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
well, it's good to see you, man. I'm excited to see you
pleasure,
doing
man.
this.
Yeah, man.
So,
and you too.
yeah, man.
How long are you in town for?
We're on stage 4 of the Aquaman set. They showed us how they do the underwater stuff. It's not actually underwater. They're in a harness and they push the stuntmen back and forth so they look like they're underwater, and they have to be able to simulate that. So if I look like Wally, that's okay.
Cool, and reset. And flare. Nice one. Alrighty, let's go back to center. You sit up too much and I'll make you wonky, so you want to try and stay as flat as you can.
So do I use my arms at all?
No, Benny's going to do all the work. You just got to keep a nice tight core. 3, 2, 1, go. Whoa, you want to try one the other way?
I felt that in my... Alright, let's do that again.
And flare. Nice. Alrighty.
I feel really bad for you though. Because like that all day long with that, jeez, that works your body like crazy, man. Like you have to have good abs for that stuff. I felt it. I definitely felt it. I think they should introduce that at gyms as a new exercise because you'll get, you know, toned really quickly. So this is Jade, one of the stunt coordinators on Aquaman. He rigged me up in this thing. What was it called again?
The tuning fork.
The tuning fork. Now, how did you come up with it?
Well, it was used on Peter Pan.
Okay.
A long time ago. Some of the guys that were rigging on this rigged on that. So they brought the concept to us.
Okay.
And then we've just evolved it with different heads, different applications of it to suit this film.
Now, brutal honesty. How was I on the thing?
You were good.
Look at
Might have to get him on board.
It's just trying to plan your diet, which is, there's a bunch of people that figure that I just do what I'm told, trying to work out and get ready, because I have like my shirtless scene coming in on the 15th, so I gotta get ready for that whole thing, which you can't really bulk, so you can't stay really strong, you gotta trim down, you gotta be up, you gotta be down. I don't eat any carbs at all, so I can have beer. Unless I have to get really ripped, then I have to cut it out for like 5 days. But that's about it.
So one of the things I love about these sets, this specifically is Ediche. It's like all the fine little details. Like you can see the nuanced little things in here. It's crazy like how real it is. Most of the stuff you don't even notice when you're watching the film. Prop people and the people who make the sets put such hard work into it. Most of this goes unnoticed. I love to just look at it and appreciate it as much as I can, like an art piece or something. Tiffany, come here. What action sequence is happening here?
Apparently, a little something awesome happens with Mira over there.
Okay.
And then later on, something awesome with Arthur and Black Manta. Also, who knows, when the movie comes out, it could be something totally different. I don't know.
This is true. Things change all the time.
The first 52, I mean, I love what Jeff Johns did with it. I had a lot of conversations with him. He came up to the house, kind of geeked out.
Yeah.
He drew something for my kids. We had a lot of conversations, and I was kind of inspired by him because he recreated that whole thing. And so I know I kind of follow in the footsteps of him. Just watching him talk about it and get excited, I'm like, oh yeah, he's a badass. He really is just this loner, and he's ruthless. He'll punch Batman in the face, and he'll, you know, want to fight Superman. And he's got a lot of sides to him. That's the reason why I like it. I don't want to play the good guy, and I don't necessarily want to play the bad guy. If we look back to other roles I played, Drogo wasn't a bad guy at all. He's actually the most honest person on that show. They just, you know, like to do things a little different. When Zach first signed me on, he was like, I want you to play Outlaw Josie Wales. He wants that loner. He wanted the Western. He wanted the bad guy who wasn't. He wanted a good guy who wasn't afraid to kill people.
So this is an Atlantean weapon that Richard helped design, or he did design. You designed all of this, right?
No, I'm just part of a team.
You made it all. You took credit for all of that.
I just coordinate the
That's what you were just
construction.
saying.
We're kind of incorporating a lot of, obviously, aquatic themes, and we've used elements of nature to inform the overarching sort of design aesthetic of the film. You might see these line work, you kind of see in the kind of whales.
Yeah, wow.
But what we've tried to do on this film is sort of raise the bar in terms of using lighting in the guns. So these guns have all got Wi-Fi connection.
What? Oh my god.
Whoa!
You were saying this had like a Wi-Fi thing in it?
It does, yeah.
It plays music?
No, it's just an ambient light. It's got a lighting effect that rushes through it.
What's the value of this right here?
The value, there's only 3 on the planet, so it's kind of expensive.
What makes it so hefty? Because there's weight in this thing. I can feel it like...
It's solid fiberglass, a whole core inside of that with electrical gear.
And you said there's 3 of these in the world.
I've got about 9 of those.
I'm holding one of 9 of these things.
We tried to incorporate coral effects and to mother of pearl.
Did you reinforce any of the sword stuff with any material to make it better for like fight scenes and stuff like that?
Well, this one's a fight weapon. Feel the difference in the weight.
That's
and
really
that's
light.
soft, right? This is Volko, who's played by William Dafoe, and it's his sword. And this is a commando weapon. These guys have got these big suits on, and they've sort of got a big, fat bladed weapon. And this is a training spear. This is a young Arthur character at 16, sort of like training to fight with the trident.
How long will it take for you guys to produce one staff, say?
As you can see, we illustrate first. Concept illustrators work out a brief, and we'll do a 3D model of it. This piece here is a 3D prototype of one of the guns you see on the table.
Yeah.
So then we'd get that and we'd mold it.
So you said you use a 3D printer for the different parts?
We use a 3D printer. Obviously, we have to do it in parts. So we've got a 30 centimetre square block of space, and we'll combine those into one piece and then mold that and make a big fat mold.
Who's like the one actor that keeps trying to take their weapons?
Oh, Jason's really keen on stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, he likes stuff. He's going, that's mine.
And how do you say no to him?
You don't.
Zach set a tone for what I was playing in Justice League, and I think James has completely changed what he wanted to do with this character too. I mean, we're trying to bridge that gap, but James definitely wants a lot more levity and fun, a lot more humor in it. So I don't think you see a lot of that in Justice League.
It came through in the commercial.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of smart-ass comments. I think there's a little bit more levity in this one.
Okay, gotcha.
Even more. For which one?
There's multiple Aquaman suits.
Yeah, well, I mean, Batman Superman, there was one.
Yeah.
It was like the half armor.
yeah.
That didn't work at all, so he got rid of that. It would just fall off when I fought and stuff. So I had a lot of say in what he looks like, because it was kind of, how do we dress up Aquaman when he's not in his outfit?
Yeah.
Right.
You know, he's not gonna be in a polo and some nice slacks. He's very blue collar. He's raised by his father, and so we had him in a lot of old army stuff or old military. Lived out of his bag, and he's a bit of a wanderer and a loner. So anything that he could keep in his bag, and it was certainly military stuff. So kind of a little bit of a rock and roller too. Carried all his little jewelry and stuff from all the people he's met. A lot of offerings from little tribes and things, so he's got a lot of trinkets.
What's the deal with the trident? The deal with the
Well,
trident?
because it has 5 on there?
Yeah, that's...
Well, it's not. I don't,
How to learn...
Call it. It's not a trident with 5.
Quindent.
A
So,
quindent.
Quindent. So it's 5 times more difficult to learn how to use the sword.
I guess so.
Right.
That's one of the problems with that. The whole point is that we haven't gotten the trident yet. So it's just kind of what everyone has down there. That weapon is something that a lot of the Atlantean soldiers have. But the actual King's trident, the one that could cut Superman's flesh, the one that's...
It's magical, right?
Yes, the one that wields the whole sea. I mean, the one that controls everything. That's the whole point of this. We're trying to get to it. It's just a huge journey. It's like that Last Crusade, you know, it's Indiana Jones' Last Crusade. We're going to so many different environments, so many different worlds to get to the Holy Grail.
We looked at a lot of colours and textures and shapes and came up with the idea of a building block. This is our basic building block for almost every costume, is a hexagonal cell shape. These are mother of pearl tiles, but everything has an iridescence. Each tile is handmade and hand painted and hand applied. We made all our own fabric. We wanted it to have a scaling effect that when the light hit it, it gave you that effect that fish scale has under the water. These are the actual rubbery urethane ones.
Oh, okay.
And then we just line them. Yeah.
Do you have a favorite costume you've made for the film so far?
Well, you know, every time we make a big costume, I think it's one of my favorites. But we have so many of them, they all become your favorite at some point.
What's the challenge of taking the cartoon, the animation, all this is inspiring, and make that real?
You have to include the performer. A lot of that has been driven by how Jason, is. He's like a kind of a big guy. He's like an old knight. He's got that physicality about him. We're trying to use that under the water. When he moves, he's not balletic in any way. Like, he's very aggressive in his movement. We wanted to keep that in his costume.
Can you talk to the fish? We're gonna see that in the movie.
Eventually, you're gonna see it.
What about a seahorse?
You're gonna see that in there too.
Yes.
And codfish.
Codfish? No.
Yes, because I am a codfish.
I might be eating codfish.
We're at this emerging point where VR is consumer accessible. You can buy one of these for a couple $100. Bring it into the studio and I'm doing design as we always would, but taking it to that next level now and you can see inside the set.
I'm with Benjamin Donnelly, who helped design the Manta ship.
Yes.
Okay, and I'm gonna take a look at it in 3D right now.
Everyone you show it to is just like, wow, why haven't we been doing it like this for years?
I see the controls, headphones. So Manta's got headphones. He's got scuba gear over here and a window to see the scenic view.
This set actually came about through VR, so we designed and modeled it. We're actually making design decisions inside the set to essentially turn it into what it is now. It's just a way to get the designers into the design and essentially, you know, be able to ask the right questions. Usually you do renders, which are like 2D images, which tell you a bit of the story.
One guy does a lot of work.
We actually walked around with James on the set with one of these and put him in the headset and we could just start talking about what he wanted for camera shots, which essentially told us immediately what we needed to do to change things.
He's got a keyboard over here, he's got a cockpit thing over here, and he's got fans in case it gets hot.
It's very hot in the submarine.
The summer water is just insane. Makes sense. And he's got a microwave in the corner.
Yeah.
Where does he keep his frozen burritos?
You kind of get the idea of how he came from concept to what it's going to be in the film. And it's a constant sort of back and forth process. And yeah, really exciting to be able to use digital sort of tools like this.
What's up, man? How are you? Nice to meet you. I'm from Los Angeles.
Oh, right on,
yeah.
man.
How's it going?
Cool.
Yeah.
Can I get a group photo?
Yeah, if you want.
Group photo?
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're trying to come up with questions to ask James Wan. My first question that I was thinking was, what if we merge Fast and Furious with Aquaman? Those two worlds combined make sense.
Fast Aquaman.
Fast Aquaman, exactly.
Or the Conjuring universe into Aquaman.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Underwater haunted houses.
Underwater Conjuring.
Yeah.
Or Underwater Saw. That'd be torturous.
That would be amazing.
That would be
like a really violent Aquaman.
very painful. Not only to watch, but to shoot as well.
Exactly, yeah.
It'd be a Chinese torture chamber.
And the blood would just float, so eventually everything would just be red.
Just be in your exactly. All over the lens. You just hear sound effects and things happening, but it's all in red, and it'll be artistic.
We should probably not pitch that idea to him.
And he won't like it.
No, he won't like that.